Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 2. Before this video start, go ahead and check out Phoenixsun. I'll be leaving a link down in the description. But for today guys, I'm going to be giving you part 4 of What If Naruto Had the Unknown Sharingan. Remember to get this one to 100 likes as usual, share this to all of your friends in your social media platform. And I was working on something guys, something special for you guys. So yeah, I got a bit off track. So I won't be able to post for What If tonight. I posted a new episode of What If Kaguya was Naruto's mother over on Anime King. So go ahead and check out that and enjoy. And yeah, I'm gonna be giving you What If Naruto Had the Unknown Sharingan tonight on this channel. So I hope you guys enjoy. And remember guys, if you're new and this is the first time you hear my voice and you enjoy the videos on both Anime King and Anime King 2, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and your support, and without further ado, let's begin this new episode, shall we?
I think the girls with their nails done now. Girls with their nails done. I think the girls with their
So, the last time we left off, Naruto finished up with the preliminaries as he was going to go into the finals. As Sarutobi gave him something, a weapon, from his father, and Naruto had to train with it to learn how to use it. As Jiraiya came to the village after the preliminaries, and he offered to train Naruto, as Sarutobi had a lot of work to do, seeing that the preliminaries finals are coming soon. So Naruto was trained by Jiraiya for the month, and Naruto also get the Toad summoning contract. As a month fly past so quickly, and the final of the preliminaries were here. Naruto and Shikamaru also went to visit Choji while he was in the hospital, as they saw Gaara trying to kill Lee in his sleep, but they stopped him, and Gaara left after saying that he's going to kill the both of them. As Naruto and Shikamaru then spent some of the remaining time talking, and the both of them became even closer friends. As Shikamaru wanted to buy time for Naruto to get to the arena, seeing that Naruto was late for the finals, as Genma said he was going to be disqualified. But at the last second, Naruto arrived, standing behind Shikamaru, as he told Shikamaru he was here the entire time, as Shikamaru just rolled at him, as he jumped off the railing and went down to face off against Neji. So yeah guys, that was basically the last spot we left off. You guys can switch across the place and check it out for yourself. So, let's begin this episode, shall we? Begin! Said Genma. A second later, the both of them vanished. Sound was the only thing that alerted the audience that a match was going on. Those who were not trained as a shinobi could only hear the clash of weapons, as they couldn't see the two boys. Even some of the ninja were having problems seeing them. All they saw was blur some of the time. Seeing that Neji has pushed himself hard for this month, as he's been training for the entire month just to get stronger, to show this boy that he's not on the same level as him. As Naruto has also picked up his training, and he was also trained by the third Hokage himself and Jiraiya. The two of them then finally stopped in the middle of the arena, kunai against kunai. How much strength are they putting in each blow? Kakashi wondered, as their clothes look ragged from the backlash. Just as I expected, Naruto said, we're about the same in arm-to-arm combat. Let's make this interesting, Naruto said, as he lowered his kunai, give Neji an opening, as Neji quickly swings his kunai right towards Naruto's face, as Naruto dodged, as Neji quickly gathered chakra in his index and middle finger of his left hand, as he jammed them right into his opponent's chest, sending Naruto flying back. Genma watched as Naruto grunted in pain. That attack was really close to the heart, Genma thought, as Naruto placed his hand on his chest where the attack landed. These kids aren't playing around, Genma thought again. Naruto then looked up as he saw Neji smirking as Neji got into a stance. As Neji then rushed forward as Naruto rushed forward as well after getting up. But before Naruto could touch Neji, Neji muttered the words, "Rotation!" as Naruto quickly jumped away as Neji was covered in a chakra dome. Everyone in the audience gasped. Neji performed a rotation without even moving his body, so he brought it out, thought Hayashi, as he watched his nephew from the stands. As the chakra dome vanished from around him, "You have no chance of winning." "Well, let's see about that," said Naruto, as he jumped up and threw 3 kunais as he went through hand sign, as the 3 kunais turned into about 200 after Naruto used so much chakra to multiply the kunais. As Neji stood perfectly calm as he said rotation, as Neji blocked all of Naruto's kunai, as Neji was still able to fight while using his rotation, as he started to throw kunais at Naruto through his chakra dome, seeing that he could throw things out of it, but things couldn't get in. Maybe adding more chakra, Naruto thought, as he then created 5 clones. 2 of them rushed forward as Neji threw 2 kunais, dispelling them, as the other 3 grabbed onto Naruto and threw him up into the air, and they held on to him, bringing themselves. As Naruto then created 2 more clones, as Neji just smirked, 2 obviously said, still in his rotation, as he fired 5 kunais up in the air, trying to hit Naruto as well, as all of the clones poofed away. But in that split second, the clone jumped in front of Naruto taking the kunai, and the real Naruto was now coming out of the smoke, with his fist coming down towards the chakra dome, as Naruto had gathered a lot of chakra into his fist, as Neji couldn't do anything, he was moving so fast. As Neji saw Naruto's fist hit the dome, and he had to jump away as the dome of chakra exploded. "I told you I would pierce through it," said Naruto as he looked at Neji. "It's a pretty good defense, I give you that, but it's obvious that you haven't mastered it completely yet. To release so much chakra from every part of your body, it was just a matter of time before your weak became so obvious. To control the chakra above you while watching in front of you and behind you, your chakra became too easy and unstable, and you left a giant weakness at the top." Neji gritted his teeth as he knew about the weakness of the rotation, but he never thought that Naruto would figure it out. "I guess I've been underestimating him," Neji thought, as Neji was now huffing and puffing, seeing that he used so much chakra. "I will still beat you," said Neji as he dashed forward, as he did the 64 palm technique, but he was only able to land 40 strikes on Naruto, seeing that Naruto blocked 24 of them, but Naruto was still sent flying backwards into a tree. The audience cheered as they watched Uzumaki Brat being struck down by the Hyuga prodigy. Soon, all the cheer died down as Naruto got up and walked back to the arena center, as a smile was on Naruto's face as he looked up as his gaze fell on the audience. Look at them, every one of them that came to see that fight against Sasuke and Gaara. They are all looking at you, Neji, the prodigy, the strongest Hyuga of the generation. You don't know how jealous I am right now. All my life, I wanted was for someone to actually worry that I might lose, not pray for my defeat," Naruto said. Above the audience in the judges' stands, Sarutobi had a pained expression on his face as he sensed sadness in Naruto's words. "These past months, I thought I had thrown all those feelings away, but yet," as Naruto then looked at Neji, "but now I come to realize, no matter what I do, my whole life will always be cursed. And I don't want to keep hiding who I am anymore. Now that I know the happiness that I wished for when I was younger is nothing but a foolish hope." "Naruto, are you going to use it?" Sakura thought as she remembered what she saw in the forest of death. Shikamaru frowned as he watched his friend. "I knew there was something wrong with Naruto, but I never thought that," he said to himself. All the time Kakashi had remained silent. The guilt that was eating him up inside was too much for him to speak. Even Sasuke was completely speechless at what his teammate had said. As Naruto then looked down, as Neji saw him gathering chakra to his eyes. "I want you to see them, Neji. I want you to see my special eyes." As Naruto then lifted up his head, Neji, along with everyone, gasped as one word entered their mind. "Sharingan?" As there was silence everywhere. "I don't understand. Those are Uchiha eyes," the people in the crowd thought. "Those can't be real. That must be one of the Brat's trick. Is he really a Uchiha?" Is this the fox tricking us? The brat cannot possess a Sharingan. Uchiha? Demon? Sharingan? Those eyes. The people thought in the stands as they watched Naruto. As Sakura looked over, Sasuke, she said. As Sasuke, Sharingan was activated, as he was confused, but a part of him was happy. Could Naruto be a Uchiha? Was he not alone? But he was still confused. Back in the arena, Neji was just as confused as the villagers. Is this a trick? He thought as he looked directly at Naruto, realizing that it's not a genjutsu. It's really dumb of you to take your eyes off your opponent. As Neji quickly jumped away, when did Naruto appear behind him? As Naruto looked up to see Neji in mid-air. As Naruto vanished, as he appeared right in front of Neji and drive his fist right into Neji's face. Neji was sent flying as he slammed into the arena wall. As Naruto's feet touched the ground, his eyes never leaving Neji. As Neji picked himself up and tried to strike Naruto, but Naruto dodged each and every one of his attacks. As Naruto then dodged Neji's fist. As Neji couldn't believe it, he got through his defense. As Neji used up so much chakra he couldn't pulsate any more chakra out of his body to use his rotation, and Naruto was too close. As Naruto grabbed his neck with full force and slammed him into the wall, as Neji tried to break Naruto's hold on his neck. As Naruto moved his face forward, I told you that I was going to make you pay for hurting Hinata. As Naruto increased his grip and Neji was finding it hard to breathe. As both of their eyes met, as Naruto said, Tsukuyomi. As Neji was now in a wasteland. As the sky was crimson red, the trees were dark as night. As Neji tried to move, but he couldn't. How many times? Said a voice. As Neji focused, Naruto was right in front of him, but he was a black silhouette. What the hell is this? Neji asked as he tried to break from the bindings. How many times after you came back after a mission, and the branch members were waiting for your return? Naruto asked. What? Neji said as he was confused. As Naruto's eyes narrowed. All my life, I had to come into an empty apartment if I was able to make it back at all. As Naruto let out a cold chuckle. Also, there was some times when I come back to find the place completely destroyed and I would sleep on the floor, or sometime I would sleep in the forest, thanking God that they didn't burn down the place. There was only one person who gave a damn about my well-being, but he had so many responsibilities, it was hard for him to be there for me. You know, one day I was beaten so bad by the villagers. I was so far away from my apartment, and I didn't think that I would make it, but then I heard footsteps, and I saw this girl with pale eyes. She was rushing towards me. She then kneeled down as she put a bottle to my lips, and I felt my strength and my energy coming back. But before we could exchange any words, her caretaker come and take her away. And I looked up as she turned and smiled at me, and later on I figured out who she was. She was royalty, Hinata Hyuga. But I couldn't go near her, seeing that I didn't want her to get into any trouble because of what I am. She helped me that day, and I can't forgive you, Neji, said Naruto, as a black sword came between the both of them. And now you have to pay, said Naruto, as he gripped the sword and stepped towards Neji. Back in the real world, Neji collapsed on the ground, but he was still conscious. That was only a third of my power. Neji, I want to say something else to you. You have people waiting back for you at home. You have a whole branch family. It doesn't matter if you're not part of the main house. Please, don't waste them. They're still your family. As Neji realized it was true, no matter how he tried to distance himself from everyone, the branch family would always be there for him, even if it was just to ask him how he was. As Naruto walked up to Neji, think back, how many times have you came home to see Hinata waiting for you? As Neji remembered, he would always come home to see Hinata there with a smile on her face, happy that he was okay. As feelings of regret overwhelmed him, Neji finally passed out. As Genma announced Naruto Uzumaki as the proctor. As everyone remained quiet, they didn't know what to say. As the medics took Neji, as Naruto walked up to the balcony. Naruto walked up and jumped into the terrace without saying a word. As Naruto started to walk towards the back, he turned his eyes towards Sasuke just for a second. As Sasuke didn't understand, he knew what Naruto did. It was that Tsukuyomi thing that Itachi used on him. But how did Naruto get it? You have to have the Mangekyo Sharingan. Just like I expected, Naruto said, as he walked back to the wall and leaned against it as he deactivated Sharingan. As Naruto looked down, he then heard a drop. Something dropping on the floor. As he turned and looked at his hand, as it was blood coming from his hand. It must be when I punched Neji rotation, he thought. He then heard a voice and a tearing sound, like someone was tearing something, a piece of cloth or clothing. Clean up and stop making a mess, said Shikamaru. Looking up, Naruto saw Shikamaru as he tore a piece of his sleeve. Thanks, Naruto said in a soft tone. Each time I think I'm understanding you, you come up with something completely different, Shikamaru said. And Sharingan, huh? I can honestly say, I didn't see that coming, said Shikamaru as he smirked, as Naruto smirked back. As Genma called the next match, which was Sasuke and Gaara, as sand swirled around Gaara and he vanished, as he appeared in the ring with a sand Shunshin. As Naruto met eyes with Sasuke, who was looking at him, as Sasuke then jumped down and went down to the arena. As soon as Sasuke got down there, everyone started to talk again, saying that the Uchiha will defeat the Sand Ninja, and he's going to show everyone here what a true shinobi is. As Genma, seeing that the both of them will not talk any trash talk, he told the both of them to begin. As this battle remained the same, up to the point of Naruto seeing feathers falling on the audience. As people started to fall unconscious, as Naruto brought his hands up and dispelled the genjutsu. As the sand and sound ninjas enter Konoha and the invasion began. As Gaara was down in the arena as blood was leaking from him after Sasuke stabbed him with the Chidori, as Kankuro, Temari and Baki landed beside Gaara. What's wrong? Asked Baki, as he wasn't sure it would be safe to approach him. What should we do now? Are we supposed to proceed without Gaara? It's the side effects of him trying to transform so soon, said Temari. Go, said Baki. Go and take Gaara with you. I will join the fight here. Now go, he ordered. As they nodded and placed Gaara's arms over their shoulder and jumped away. Sasuke growled as he tried to chase after them, but his body prevented him from moving. Damn, I don't have any more chakra. My body is going numb, he thought as he fell on his knees. Suddenly, he sensed something flying towards him as he raised his hand and caught it. As he looked, it was a soldier pill. If you plan on chasing after those guys, you will need it, Genma said, as he walked past Sasuke and stand in front of Baki. You're a leaf shinobi after all, make yourself useful, as Sasuke smirked as he swallowed the pill and got up. Up in the sands, Sakura watched as Sasuke jumped the wall and chased after the sand siblings. Acting on instinct, she stood up, but then she froze, as two sand ninjas appeared in front of her, as they drive their kunais towards her. But she saw two black blurs, as the two sand ninjas were knocked away. They were so distracted, they didn't even notice two Genins, said Shikamaru. As Sakura then smirked, she thought that it was Naruto right beside Shikamaru who came to save her, as she looked up with a small blush on her face, seeing that he was being so strange and angry to her over the past few months, him saving her showing that he truly cares. Sakura, are you alright? Said a voice, as the voice wasn't his, as she then looked up to see. It was Shino who was standing beside Shikamaru. Yeah, I'm alright, she said. It was then that they were surrounded by a group of Sound Shinobi. All of them brought out their kunai, but it was of no use as Guy and Kakashi appeared and killed all of the Sound Ninjas. I got more than you did, Kakashi, said Guy. Do we really have to keep count? Guy asked. Kakashi. Sasuke has, I know, said Kakashi. he's chasing those 3 sand ninjas. That is why I came for you 3. Shikamaru let off a small scowl. And here I was thinking, you wanted to save us. Anyways, I'm here to assign a Wait, where's Naruto? Kakashi asked, as he looked around for another student. Well, he disappeared after the genjutsu started, said Shikamaru. Well, you 4 will have to do then, said Kakashi, as he looked at them, but they were confused. 4? It's just 3 of us, said Sakura, as Kakashi bit his thumb and went through hand sign as he summoned Pakon. That's it, said Shikamaru, as he looked at the K9. This little pup right here? As Pakon jumped on Shikamaru's head. Who are you calling little? Ponytail boy. As Kakashi cleared his throat and get their attention. Alright, I'm about to assign you for a A-rank mission. Sasuke is pursuing those sand genins. I want you to intercept and stop him. Why? Shikamaru asks. There is something odd with the red head. It will be dangerous if him and Sasuke continue their fight. That is why you need to catch up and stop him. As they all nodded, as they left. I'm up to 10 now, said Guy, as he defeated 2 more sound ninjas. As the group headed off, Shikamaru had to stay behind, seeing that a group of sand and sound ninjas were following them, as he told them he would hold them off, and they should go now, as they nodded after a second or 2 and went off. Meanwhile with Naruto, 10 sound ninjas collapsed right in front of him. What were you thinking, idiot boy? You know how much strain that genjutsu caused on your eyes, said Kurama, as Naruto shook his head, as he sensed Sasuke in the forest, and he sensed the others went after him. He also sensed a group of shinobis trying to catch up with them, as he quickly turned towards the forest and headed off. Meanwhile, Kurenai told Kiba to get Hinata to the Hyuga estate, as Kiba had Hinata on his back as he was heading to the Hyuga estate. Suddenly, a kunai landed right in front of him. Well, what do we have here? As Kiba saw 3 sound shinobis. As Kiba then took off, the only thoughts were in his mind was to keep Hinata safe. I love to chase, said one of the sound ninjas, as he rushed behind Kiba and the others as well. As Kiba kept on running, but someone landed in front of him and planted a kick right in his face. You're too slow, kid, as Kiba turned Hinata and grabbed her, as he dropped on the ground a hard thud, making sure that she was still safe. As he was now surrounded by the 3 sound shinobis, as he looked at them and they glared at him, as he got into a battle stance. As Kiba got the crap beaten out of him, but he managed to keep Hinata safe as he was now on the ground coughing up blood. I am sorry, Kurenai, I failed you, he said. But before they could finish the final blow, Kiba heard the sound ninjas cried out in pain as he slowly opened his eyes as Neji was standing in front of him. I'm sorry I'm late. I will handle these guys. Get her to safety, said Neji, as Kiba quickly nodded as he picked up Hinata as he mustered up his strength and ran off. Meanwhile with Shikamaru, he was low on his chakra as his shadow possession jutsu wear out, as the sound ninjas were now laughing at him as they pulled out kunai and threw it towards him, as Shikamaru was on the ground as he closed his eyes, but all of the kunais were deflected as he heard metal clashing against metal. As he slowly opened his eyes to see the sound ninjas looking confused, as one of them then dropped off the tree with a kunai embedded in his neck. You know I won't let you die, said Naruto. It would be like you would say troublesome to come to your grave and tell you about my problems. Well that's true, said Shikamaru, as the sound ninjas turned around as they were stabbed all over their body by kunai and shuriken as Naruto did the multiple kunai technique jutsu. As Naruto walked over to Shikamaru and gave him a chakra pill, as Shikamaru ate it. Well, we should get going, we're in the middle of a chase after all, said Naruto, as Shikamaru got up. Troublesome, he said. Meanwhile, Kankuro and Temaru were carrying Gaara. They're coming. The Uchiha. And the Uzumaki as well. The both of them are coming, Gaara said, as he was in a delusional state. Why him? Kankuro asked. Didn't you see it? Said Temari. While the Uzumaki was fighting, while using his chakra, it was like his chakra was calling out to Gaara. Gaara had that sick twisted smile on his face. The two of them are similar. The look that Uzumaki boy had, it was off, pure hatred. It was just like Gaara, and that amount of killing intent. It was just like him, she said, as she looked down at Gaara. As Temari then stopped. What are you doing? Said Kankuro as Temari clenched the fan on her back. I will hold back that Uzumaki guy. What? Kankuro said. Listen, she said. The Uchiha, we simply have to outrun. But that guy, he's affecting Gaara. If he keep getting closer, the thing might wake up. You can get Gaara out of here faster. Meanwhile, I will prevent that guy from getting closer to him, said Temari. Don't worry, she said. Just leave everything to Big Sis. As she smiled at him, as he didn't want to leave, but she was right as he saw Gaara stirring. The Uzumaki chakra was really affecting him. Meanwhile, with Pakon and the others, as Pakon sniffed the ear, what's going on? Asked Shino. The female changed directions. She is going around us. I see, he said, as his nose caught the scent of something that was following them. Should we move to intercept? Shino asked. No, our mission is not to engage the Sand. We are here to prevent the Uchiha from starting something with them, he said. And with that they headed off. Damn it, Shikamaru! Hurry up, said Naruto. Take a kunai and shove it. Not all of us have your crazy amount of stamina, said Shikamaru. Naruto was about to say something when something caught his attention. Look out! As a giant gust of wind tear right through the area that they were just running. As they watched as Temari arrived. Go on, I will take care of her, said Shikamaru. Hell no, said Naruto. What? Shikamaru said. I saw what you did in your match with her. You blew your chance. I knew that you would hold that over my head. Just don't mess around, okay? Shikamaru said as he jumped back in a tree. Yeah, just go on, Naruto said as he turned and looked at Temari. As Shikamaru dashed past the both of them, as he was surprised, she didn't even stop him. So Naruto is her true target, he thought. So, what does a pretty girl like you want with me? Besides the obvious, he said with a small smirk. Damn, I spent too much time with Erosenin, Naruto thought. Temari didn't say anything as she swung her fan at him again, as a gust of wind tear right through the area. As Naruto jumped away, that fan can be a problem, he thought, as he watched her from behind a tree. As Temari kept on releasing attacks after attacks. Kankuro, you better go on with this time I'm giving you, she said, as she huffed. This thing was really draining her after using it so many times. I could just wait until she ran out of chakra, Naruto thought, but who knows how long that will take. As Naruto then created a clone, as him and the clone rushed forward, as the clone placed down his hand on the ground as Temari released a gust of wind, as the clone threw him up in the air as the clone was destroyed. As Temari then released another gust of wind, but Naruto already summoned a clone in mid-air, as the clone threw him farther up in the air, as she released another gust of wind, but the clone grabbed onto him that he summoned and swung him around. As Naruto dodged her wind and came down out of the air with his kunai, but she stopped it with her fan. But to his surprise, she pushed him back with great strength as he flipped, as she then released another gust of wind that sent him flying. As the fox chuckled, as Naruto landed and jumped away. It seemed like she has greater upper body strength than you, kid, Kurama said. Shut up, I don't have time for this, Naruto said. Well, I know a way out of this, but seeing that you don't have time for this, Kurama said. Well, you don't want me to die, or your consciousness is going to fade away. So, aren't you going to tell me? Naruto asks. Like if she can kill you, it's just because of that fan you cannot get close to her. But think, what you have seen. She's a proud female warrior. And what is a guarantee to stop a proud female warrior? And what is that? Naruto asks. As the fox could barely control the smirk that was on his face. As the fox whispered some words to him. As a blush came on Naruto's face. What the hell? Naruto said. If you're man enough, you will do it, the Kyuubi said. Come on, kid. Quick and painless. Well, for the most part, said Kurama. Easy for you to say, said Naruto. But he then sighed. I'm going to regret this in the morning, he said. Shadow Clone Jutsu. As 3 clones jumped at her, she swung her fan and dispelled them all, as 5 more clones jumped at her, as she wiped them away with her clone again. As 8 more clones came down, she used her fan and swiped all of them away. But taking on her distraction, Naruto rushed straight up to her, as she put her fan in front of her to block any kunai that he must have. But he placed a hand on her fan as she brought back her fist, but she was surprised when he caught it, as he then leaned his face forward and planted his lips on her lips, kissing her, as Temari let her guard down, as Naruto delivered a swift chop to the back of her neck, knocking her out, as Kurama chuckled. See, that wasn't that bad. In fact, you seem to enjoy it. At least, this was better than my first kiss, he said, as he then placed her against a tree and went off. But guys, I'm be ending this episode right here. If you want to see the next part of this, you already know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notifications they posted. Remember to share to all of your friends on your social media platform. And yeah guys, I'm working on something, yeah. But I'm not going to be spoiling it yet or telling you what I'm working on. But just know I'm working on something good for you guys. That is why I wasn't able to do the 4 usual what ifs today. But don't worry, I'm going to be giving you a lot of what ifs tomorrow. And I hope you guys enjoy each and every one of them. And thank you for all of your help and your support. And remember to go ahead and check out What If Kaguya Was Naruto's Mother and enjoy. But for now, I'm out guys. Peace.